Hello students, today we are going to deal with an important topic of class 10 biology, heterotrophic mode of nutrition. The word heterotrophic has been derived from two words. What are those? Heteros and trophy. Heteros means others, trophy means nutrition. So what is it? Nutrition derived from others. So it is that means of that mode of nutrition in which an organism is dependent or depends on other organisms for food. It doesn't have the capacity to, heterotrophs don't have the capacity to make food. Instead, they depend on other organisms for making food. And the mode of nutrition by which heterotrophs take their food is known as heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So the examples are animals, most bacteria and fungi, and yeast, which is the non-green plant. Animals, most bacteria and fungi, yeast, which is the non-green plant. Types of heterotrophic nutrition: saprotrophic, parasitic, and holozoic. Saprotrophic mode of nutrition. Sapro means rotten. Sapro means rotten. In this kind of nutrition, the organisms derive their food from decaying organic matter of dead plants, animals, and rotten bread. Here, the complex organic matter, the complex organic molecules of decaying organic matter are broken down into simpler ones so that it can be absorbed by the body. And the examples are fungi. Fungi means mushroom, that's the bread mold, yeast, and many bacteria. Let's in an example here of mushroom. This is a piece of logwood, decaying wood, and they are obtaining the decaying organic matter from that particular decaying wood. So saprotrophic parasitic, they get their food obtained from decaying organic material of dead plants, animals, and rotten bread. The complex organic molecules here are broken down into simpler ones, and that happens outside the body. In holozoic, it happens inside the body. In saprotrophic, it happens outside the body. Examples are mushroom, most of the fungi, mushroom, bread molds, yeast, etc., and many bacteria, and also many bacteria. Parasitic nutrition. It is such mode of nutrition in which an organism derives its food from the body of another organism without killing it. It harms the organism but doesn't kill it, and the organism which suffers is known as host, and the organism which benefits is known as parasite. So it is found in many fungi and bacteria, and also in tapeworm, roundworm, lice, ticks, etc. Let's draw the figure of a roundworm. This is the figure of a roundworm, and it lives in the intestine of domestic animals and men, harming them. This is the picture of a roundworm. And the second one is Plasmodium, the malarial parasite. So these are the examples of parasitic nutrition. Holozoic nutrition, it is such kind of nutrition in which an organism takes the complex organic material inside the body, and then the ingested food is digested and absorbed by the body. What happens here? Here the complex organic matter is food is taken inside the body and then it is digested and absorbed by it, and the undigested and unabsorbed food is thrown out of the body. And man, dog, cat, etc. These so holozoic mode of nutrition. Nutrition in animals. Nutrition. Let's wipe it out. Animals mainly derive their food and some non-green plants such as Venus flytrap, such as Venus and pitcher plant. They derive their nutrition from plants and animals. So animals and some non-green plants who are not able to make their own food with the help of photosynthesis, they are dependent on plants and animals. These mostly they eat insects, Venus flytrap and pitcher plant. So depending upon the type of food they eat, organisms may be classified into herbivores, second carnivores and omnivores. Herbivores, they'll eat only plant and plant products. They eat only meat and flesh of other organisms. They never eat plant and plant products, and they eat both. Here the omnivorous examples are man, bear, dog, sparrow, myna, etc. Carnivorous, lion, tiger. Here the examples are cow, goat, etc. So herbivorous, they eat plant and products. Examples: cow, goat, sheep, etc. Carnivorous, they eat only meat and flesh of animals such as lion, tiger. Omnivorous, they eat both bear, dog, also, etc. So there are 5 steps of nutrition. There are 5 steps of nutrition. 5 steps of nutrition. What are they? First, it's ingestion. Then it's digestion. Then absorption, assimilation, and finally it's egestion. When we take food inside our body, which starts from the mouth, it's known as ingestion. Then it's digestion. When the food arrives into the mouth, it is in the form of large insoluble molecules. So it is converted into a small soluble molecules by the process of digestion. So digestion is a process which converts the large insoluble molecules of the food to small water soluble molecules so that it can be absorbed by the body. Digestion may be physical as well as chemical. Physical digestion takes place inside the mouth by chewing and grinding, and that is done with the help of teeth, and tongue also helps in this. Physical digestion by adding digestive juices or enzymes to the food by the body itself. So physical digestion takes place by chewing and grinding, that takes place with the help of teeth and tongue. And the chemical digestion takes place with the addition of digestive juices or enzymes to the food by the body itself. Absorption. Now the digested food passes through the intestinal walls into the bloodstream. So it is the process by which the digested food passes through the intestinal walls into the blood stream. Assimilation. Now the food through the blood stream reaches every cell of the body, and the cells utilize them for growth, energy, and repair of the body. Now the absorbed food, it reaches the, is taken up by the cells of the body, and they use them for repair, growth, and also for obtaining energy. So assimilation, here it is the process by which cells of the body take the food and use it for repair, growth, energy. Digestion, a part of the food remains undigested and unabsorbed, and it is removed out of the body through the process of digestion. So digestion is the process by which the undigested or unabsorbed food is moved out of the body. Now let us pay our focus on nutrition in amoeba. We all know that amoeba is a unicellular organism. It mainly lives in water, and it eats tiny microscopic plants and animals which float on water. The mode of nutrition is holozoic, and the process of obtaining food is known as phagocytosis. Phagocytosis. That means self-feeding. Cytosis. Okay. Phagocytosis, which means self-feeding. That means they are fed by the cell. They have only a single cell. So amoeba is an unicellular organism which lives mainly in water, and they eat tiny microscopic plants and animals that float on water. The mode of nutrition is holozoic, that they take in solid food and convert into a smaller one so that it can be absorbed and digested and absorbed by the body. And the process of obtaining food is known as phagocytosis, which is known as self-feeding. Now, how does that particular 5 processes here are also concerned with nutrition. What are those? Ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and digestion. So let us dwell on ingestion first. How is it done? So whenever amoeba sees a prey, it moves towards it. And then it encircles it with the help of false feet known as pseudopodia. Then along with the water, the food is put inside here, forming a food vacuole. This is not, it has just encircled it. Here it was just encircled. That food particle was just encircled. Here a food vacuole is formed. Amoeba doesn't have mouth, so here food vacuole has been. The food vacuole is known as temporary stomach. This food vacuole is known as temporary stomach in amoeba. So this is the part of ingestion. Now let us know about digestion also. So how does digestion takes place? Let's make a figure once again. So here this is the food material. Digestive juices or enzymes coming from all sides from cytoplasm to break that particular food into a smaller ones, larger insoluble food into smaller soluble ones. So now there are large enzymes surrounding the food vacuole, and they enter that particular food vacuole to break them into that particular food particles which are large and insoluble to small and soluble ones, and this particular process is known as digestion. Now the food has been digested. After the digestion takes place, it's the turn of absorption. How does it take place? Now the food has been broken, and now it moves to all parts of the cytoplasm. The food which has been digested moves to all parts of the cytoplasm. It diffuses out to the all parts of the cytoplasm. Since amoeba consists of only one cell, it doesn't require blood system to carry the digested food from one part to another. So it simply moves by diffusion. Here larger concentration, outside is a smaller concentration, not so large. So it moves from high concentration to low concentration. That's absorption for you. Then assimilation takes place. What happens? A part of the food is used for obtaining energy through respiration, but the remaining part of absorbed food is used to make the parts of the amoeba cell. So a small part is used to obtain energy through respiration. A small part is used to obtain energy through respiration, but all the other parts, remaining part of absorbed food, used to make the parts of amoeba. As a result of that, amoeba grows in size. It grows in size, and afterwards what happens? It ruptures. It doesn't have anus-like part to digest, so it ruptures at any place. It can rupture at any place, and the undigested food goes out. So this was the 5 steps of nutrition for you. Let us study about paramecium 2. Let's make the figure of paramecium. Let's make the figure of paramecium. It must be here, small. Yeah, we'll make those stars, etc. So they are hair-like structures on the body of the paramecium. It moves in a very rhythmic movement, and if any food is detected, the cilia sweeps away the food along with water into the mouth of paramecium. That is called food gullet here, and it is ingested inside the body. Then it is digested, absorbed, assimilated, and the undigested part is thrown out of the body. So this is paramecium for you. With this, we conclude this particular video. In the next video, we will study about how does nutrition take place in human beings. Till then, keep studying biology and do subscribe my channel and like and share my videos.